welcome back to my channel. For all the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing, and for all the returning subscribers, welcome to another video by... Y'all said that, right? So as you guys can see, I am back with another story time. I think in this lockdown period, right after Cyril has just, you know, given us the news, Ubaba Sekaya, the father of the nation, has given us the news that alcohol is banned. This is such a sad story. Hold on. This is my last bottle. I don't know what I'm meant to do going forward. Like, you couldn't even say that the Cyril, no, let's wait till 4 p.m. I literally had to get this from home. I had to go home. I had to ask my parents. I had to say like, no guys, please, go. Like, it's a need. Okay guys, welcome back to another video, and today I have got a story time for you guys. A lot of people have been asking me over and over again, Naledi, can we have a story time? Can we have a story time? Can we have a story time? And I'm just like, I'm running out of stories. I'm running out of stories. Like, listen guys, I told you guys my life is boring. Now you guys are making me dig in the files, like, to look for things that I forgot happened. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, I decided to tell you guys the story because I think that this is something that happens to everyone. Every woman has probably experienced this, is going to experience this, because it happens, and I don't know why guys think it's okay to do this, but judging from the headline, you guys can already see where the story is going. And I actually almost got catfished by some with cars I've seen and I know. Wow. Before we begin the video, I really want to apologize that I haven't been so consistent in the uploads. I know that in the past 2 months I've been uploading every day, like every 2 days, every 3 days, just to keep you guys entertained. But the reason why I took a backseat was because I lost someone really dear to me in this obviously COVID period. Luckily it wasn't COVID, but I lost someone very dear to me, and it's just been a really tough time for me and those around me, those that I care about. So I just decided to kind of take a break and reflect on everything that was going on and reflect on the severity of the situation. Now, yes, granted, the person I lost wasn't due to COVID, but I really want people to understand the severity of COVID right now and how it's affecting something as important as just resources, public resources. You know, like someone could be sick due to something else, and then you get to the hospital and they can't even help you because everybody who's in there, it's coronavirus, it's everything. So guys, please, again, I say this again, please guys, stay safe, stay home, isolate as much as you can, social distance as much as you can. Make sure that you're not going to too many frequent places where you don't know where some of your close friends have been, because it's literally that one mistake, the one mistake that seems so small, that can affect everything and everyone around you. Like, I've been so afraid to go home to my little sister. I've been so afraid to actually just do anything, because I've been around so many people in the past couple of days that I am fearful that my negligence is actually going to affect people I care about so dearly. I've been an emotional wreck, to be really honest with you guys, but I've been feeling so much better today. I've been feeling like a normal person again. I've been feeling like life can continue now. I lost someone dear to me, like a father figure. It's not my father, guys, but I lost someone dear to me, and it's affected those around me, and those I care for have been in like immense pain. So it's actually affected me and my ability to record, and my ability to be able to showcase my true personality with you guys and be relatable and be the Naledi you guys are so used to. But it's been hard. It's been so hard. So everyone who follows me, guys, everyone who follows me, even if it means I release a video every single day for you guys, please guys, social distance. I'm begging you, social distance. Please look after your elders. Your elders are the most important. Your parents, look after your parents. Don't go out too frequently and go back home. Well, if you don't live home, you get the crux of what I'm trying to say. Like, our future honestly is in our hands, and after the shocking statistics, I am begging you guys. I am saying I will do a video for you guys every single day if you guys promise me you'll stay in the house. design. Anyway, you know what, guys, I'm done being serious. I've been crying for the past couple of days. I'm not gonna do that here on camera again. As a matter of fact, it's my spillion to cry on camera, but I'm not gonna do that. As you guys can see by the headline of the story, it was actually really, really funny because, and this time I'm actually not gonna hide any names because first of all, I don't know the guy that catfished me. I never found out. And two, it was so close to home that I was just like, there's this group, guys, in Johannesburg. It's called Traction Off, and now basically what these guys do is they all own some sort of supercar, sports car, performance car, and then they all meet up and then we all do drags and stuff like that, and it's really, really fun. And I don't even know why at any point I didn't decide to like record myself at the drags, because that was the best time of my life. Like, I'm like an adrenaline like junkie. Like, I love fast cars, and it's my favorite because I know there's another one in Bedfordview. I know there's quite a few like sports performance car groups, but I think the one that really matters, guys, is Traction Off. I'm ripping Traction Off. No, I'm still a Traction Off kind of girl, you know. I still need that Traction Off. If Traction Off had made those t-shirts like I said they should, we wouldn't even be here right now. I could have made a cheerleading squad for the Traction. Guys who have lots of money all meet up and they showcase their supercars, and then we all go to the drags, and then we all do charity drives. It's not just limited to a bunch of arrogant guys that just meet up and have cars, but it's a bunch of really cool down to earth guys. They meet up, they bring their supercars. It's like car fanatics. They're all just a bunch of car fanatics, and it just so happens that each and everyone who's in that group has a supercar. So at some point, right, my boyfriend is really good friends with the people valet who are a part of Traction Off, and they all were part of Traction Off together. And honestly, Traction Off days were like the best times of my life, where we used to like drag race, and we used to do like drives and stuff like that. It was amazing. Honestly, it was amazing. But the reason why I rip Traction Off so hard, because Traction Off is one of the only groups in Johannesburg where the guys who are in that group have bought their own cars. I'm not shading, listen to me. I'm not shading all the other groups, but I feel like Traction Off was started by a group of really hardworking individuals. Like, those guys, they work their asses off to be where they are, right? I know more or less the main guys in that group. There's a lot of guys. It's a group with many people, and everyone is welcome. I'm lying, actually. They do a screening apparently in the WhatsApp group. They do a screening and they're like, you don't have the four pipes? Sorry, it's the four pipes. Apparently they do a screening in the WhatsApp group, and if you don't have a 4-pipe, they're like, sorry, it's the 4 pipes. Bye. But I don't know how some of the people made it through in there. There are some guys in there like, you, what are you doing here? You don't have the 4 pipes? You don't have the 4 pipes. But I love the guys from Traction Off. They're great guys, funny as hell, great. Some are single. Don't even DM me asking me who's single, because I ain't even gonna tell you. But anyway, I'm done rambling. I'm so done rambling about Traction Off, because I'm really actually kind of pissed that they never got me a t-shirt. Like, it's actually really frustrating me, but okay. Last year, you guys know that I had broken up with the boy, right? So when I actually broke up with him, I was single, living my best, you know, life. And personally, for me, I'm not someone who entertains people who court me on social media. Like, if you've ever tried to DM me in the DM request on Instagram, and you've tried to do anything on Instagram, trust and believe that I don't take Instagram or Twitter seriously. Like, don't DM me on some can we go on a date on Instagram. You're lucky if you find me on LinkedIn rather than finding me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll tell you why. The sort of thinking process, no, not the thinking process, the status quo, it's not even a status quo, it's not even a rumor. The fuck is this thing? The idea, or the understanding, or the general consensus. The general consensus is that anybody who asks you out on the social medias, they can be whoever they want to be on social media. A nigga can come to you, lie to you, tell you the way you're so beautiful, you remind him of your mom, and he can even post cars that don't belong to him. So one day I was on Twitter just chilling, and I check my message requests quite frequently, but only for obviously work purposes and purposes to assist people throughout the coronavirus period, like anyone who might need help or assistance. I like to check those so I can help whoever might need help at the time. But then sometime last year, that's why I check inboxes, but that's not why I checked last year. So sometime last year, some guy DM'd me on Instagram. I forgot his name. Shit. I think he actually deactivated his profile, but some guy last year DM'd me on Twitter, and he DM'd me on Instagram. So I saw the DM, and it's not something that never happens before. Like, guys who normally obviously try to court me or really like my personality or whatever, they'll DM me on Twitter, and if they can't get a hold of me on Twitter, they'll DM me on Instagram. So the difference between Instagram and Twitter is that Twitter will inform you if you get a message request on the message requests, but Instagram doesn't. It just tells you the inboxes that you have here, but it doesn't really tell you if you get a message from someone that you don't follow. So he kept going in my inboxes. Like, he would send a message, then delete it, then send it to be at the top of my list. And then on Twitter, he would send a message, then I'd look at it, then he'd send another one, then I'd look at it, then he'd send another one. Hey guys, did that for a month. And then one day I was so bored. Like, I was like borderline boredom. Oh, this guy also liked all of my tweets. Like, he used to like each and every single tweet that I'd make, and it's like a way of trying to, you know, create that conversation between us, or he'd comment on some of my tweets. Okay, so one day, I don't know what came over me, but he texted me because I was really sad. I was like venting on the timeline, and that's something I need to stop doing, this thing of oversharing on Twitter. And it's actually part and parcel as to why I've kind of taken a break from social media. I used to cry on the timeline. I'm so sad. Yeah. And you know what? If there's any one of you guys who unfollowed me because last year sometime I was depressing, I completely understand. I was fucking depressing. This is fucking depressing. But back to the story. He DM'd me for a month. He went on my Instagram. He went in between my Instagram and my Twitter. Eventually, he found one day I was bored and I was chilling, and then he sent me a DM from something I had just tweeted like 10 minutes ago. So he knew that I was on the timeline because I was busy liking things, and he was following me. So I responded. He was like, hey. He had been saying hey by himself. Like, he had been haying there. He had a whole entire thingamabob by himself, right? And I was starting to feel like the spawn of Satan by just watching this guy have a conversation by himself. And trust me, there are a lot of guys who have conversations by themselves. So then he DMs me, he's like, hi, and I'm like, hey. And then he's like, oh my God, how are you? And I'm like, oh my God, what? He's like, no, I'm just so happy that you responded. I really, I'm fascinated with you. You're so beautiful. I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry. What? He just said a lot of things. And he was just like, he played it cool. But then 3 texts later, he just said, I'm so happy that you responded. And I'm like, okay, what do you want? So now we're having a conversation, very plain, very simple. And we had this was our first conversation before the multitude of conversations we had on Twitter. So then after that, he's like to me, we speak, it's very general. And then I just stopped talking to him completely. Like, I think I left him on unread. I left him on gray, right? I didn't even go into the message because it was just like, hey, how are you? Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Thank you for responding. So I was like, no problem, not a problem. I'm really sorry if you felt like I was acting fresh. I'm not acting fresh. There's a lot of DMs that I get on the daily, and there's a lot of people who are always trying to catfish and whatever. No problem, he completely understood. So then after that, it became a regular, like, hey, he would greet me every other day or like every day in my DMs. And then I was like, so every day I was, hey, hi, how are you? I'm good. What are you doing? I'm chilling, you? So guys, we spoke. Obviously, then we started talking. It wasn't frequent, but I noticed that every single day, this guy wanted to talk to me. About every day, hi. I'm like, hey, how are you? Beautiful. Guys. Hi, beautiful. Hello, dear. Hello, babe. Hello, love. Hello, beautiful, dear Nana. You guys disgust me. So then we started talking, and then he kind of mentioned how he really wanted my number, and I was like, no, sorry, I don't give my number to strangers. You understand what I'm saying? He's like, no, I'm not a stranger. I really, really like you, Naledi. And I'm like, okay. So then I started like snooping through his Twitter account while he's busy there in the DMs. I started snooping through his Twitter account. Guys, the pictures I found there. Okay, so he posted pictures of himself standing next to Ferraris and like Lambos at Fouché Motors. Fouché Motors, right? So me being me, I thought he works at Fouché Motors. I thought that, oh, okay, you're a sales guy. Oh, he's colored, by the way. He wasn't black. Actually, quite a few colored niggas have actually thrown bones at me, but not the colored niggas that I actually wanted at that time. We started talking. I asked him about him. He's like, no, yeah, I'm a businessman and I own this large plot in Stain City and I'm building my house and I have cars. I'm like, oh, okay, so you don't work at Fouché Motors. That's what I said. I'm like, oh, okay, so you don't work at Fouché Motors. Anybody who doesn't know what Fouché Motors is, you're not rich enough. I'm not even rich enough, but I know what that is. Y'all need to do the work. The only reason I know Fouché Motors is because my boyfriend and I used to go there when we were still looking at like big supercars, and I was like, oh, wena. I asked him, what do you do? And he's like, no, I'm a businessman. And I'm like, a businessman in what? And he's like, no, you know, just logistics. Just logistics. You're a businessman in just logistics. Every single businessman that I've met, they'll tell me their name, their surname, their ID number. They'll be like, you can Google me. You can find me. I'm rich, bitch. What it do? There was only one guy I've ever met who was rich and didn't say a damn thing to me. He's like, no, I'm a businessman in logistics. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in logistics. What exactly do you do? He's like, no. I just have some trucks. You just have some trucks. And what? Give me your name and your surname. Then he gave me his name and his surname, guys. Then I started snooping, went on LinkedIn, went everywhere. When I went on LinkedIn, I could find him, right? So he was a real person. He was a real person. I could find him, but then on LinkedIn, no profile picture. I'm like, oh, okay, so give me your Instagram handle. And then, guys, he was those colored guys that wore those pants that scrunched up at the bottom. Yeah, kumbula, those pants that had the elastic. He wore a Cavella, but he owned a Lamborghini. I was like, huh? So let me get to the story where it started becoming very tricky. One day he said to me, no, we're doing a run and we're going to Sun City. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, no, it's supercars only. Like, even your young M4 there, no. Even your young Audi RS3, no. It's Lamborghinis only. I'm like, okay. And he's like, yo, I wish you could be there with me. I'm like, actually, I can. He didn't see this one coming. He told me about this run days before. And in the days before, he invited me. And I said to him, no, dude. No, he didn't invite me. He told me about it. And I was like, listen, dude, I'm a car fanatic. It sounds so exciting. I wish I was there. I really love the idea that you guys are doing this run, going to Sun City, having the lunch, coming back. I would love to be a part of this, you know? He's like to me, yeah, no, I wish you could be there too. I can invite you. I would love for you to come. I'm like, oh, I'll let you know. This was 2 days before. On the day, baby boy's here with the pictures, y'all. We leaving now. It's early in the morning. He takes a picture of like a convoy of Ferraris. But there's a Ferrari right there in the front. And there's a couple of Ferraris at the back. I look at this picture. I'm like, no, man, this looks like Katlego Mokgalali's dad's car. Yeah, man. If you guys know who Katlego Mokgaladi is, she is like someone I love dearly, like baby sister. Met her once, fell in love with her. Her and Swela are my babies. They're my babies. Katlego Mokgaladi is someone who's someone, right? And her dad is someone who's someone. So he sends me a picture of the Convoy, it's a Ferrari. Now, bear in mind that Katlego Mokgaladi and we live not too far from each other. We actually live in the same area. So I know who her dad is and stuff like that. And I know who Twela's dad is. So I'm just like, man. No, man. This Ferrari looks like Katlego Mokgaladi's Ferrari. Know this because Twela's dad is more like a push guy. But I didn't know. You know, so I'm just like. And he's not in the picture. He's not in the picture. That's another thing. I'm like, oh, okay, where are you? He's like, no, I took the picture. There's people walking around. And I saw a short guy, so I thought, hi man, hi, kiddies meal, oh, okay, kiddies meal, oh. And I'm like, who's that short guy over there? And he's like, no, I don't know him. My Lambo's the second one. I'm like, okay, send me a video of you controlling the car. Duh. I'm like, where are you guys now? I was like, no, we're at Sun City. And I'm like, listen, I'm thinking of actually driving down. It's like a 40-minute drive. I'd really like to join you guys. Like, are you guys having lunch? How long? I even asked him, how long are you guys going to be there? And he's like, no, we're going to be here for a few hours and we're driving back. I'm like, okay, listen, if you're going to be there for a few hours, I'm going to come, actually, with my skoro and I'm going to join you. He's like, yeah, no, but we're about to leave. I'm like, how are you about to leave when you guys just sat down to eat? He's like, no, we're about to leave. The guys are busy discussing whether we should sit or eat or leave and we're about to leave. I'm like, okay. I'm like, listen, I'll talk to you later. Shab. This is still the inboxes. And he's been saying, no, give me your number, I'll give you a call. If we're staying here, then you can come. I'm like, okay. Then after that, I go into this guy's Twitter profile. He didn't want to give me his Instagram. And then I go into his media, his pictures. In one of his pictures, he's got like, he had about a total of 6 to 8 pictures. In all those pictures, he's standing at the dealership. He's standing next to a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. And he's still wearing those cropped pants that bamba you here with the Cavella or Vans or this. And you can see, oh, this guy's a Malcolm's the fix kind of guy. He's a me. I'm like, Then there was one picture that raised my eyebrow. There was a picture that he took. It was a screen grab of his desktop. And he was talking about basically how he's selling, I don't know if he was selling a car or he was selling his business or he's selling whatever. But in that picture, I zoomed into the files because I get the files on the desktop are chilling. In one of the files, my friend Luvuyo LV pops up. I'm like, Luvuyo Mtimkulu? Luvuyo Mtimkulu? Nyamazu Luvuyo Mtimkulu mina phela. I know Luvuyo Mtimkulu. I'm like, no. What's Luvuyo's folder doing in this guy's computer? So then, Luvuyo, guys, is a guy who does really well for himself, lives in a great place, has a great car. So I was like, why is Luvuyo's folder there? It was like a PDF file and it was written Luvuyo Mtimkulu. And I'm like, so then I call my friend, I call LV and I'm like, LV, have you heard of a guy called, and he's like, no. I'm like, does he have a supercar? Have you heard of a guy called who's got a supercar? I'm a Lamborghini, I'm a Ferrari. He's got a, I don't remember what I told Luvuyo it was, but it was somewhere last year because I ended up going out with Luvuyo for drinks shortly after. But I'm like, Luvuyo, friend, have you never heard of a guy owns a soul? He's like, friend, he's Zulu. He's like from Natal. I'm like, then it hit me. I was like, then I cornered this guy. I'm like, how do you know Luvuyo Mtimkulu? He's like, who? I'm like, Luvuyo Mtimkulu. And he's like, I don't know who that guy is. I'm like, that's really funny because you have a folder of him on your laptop. And he's like, oh no, that's work related. I'm like, oh, work related? What work related? No, his car, what. So he walked himself into the corner of me saying, so you actually don't own a supercar. You work at the place where they own the supercars. Because I was like, why is Louvia's file on your laptop? No, it's work stuff. What work stuff? No, it has to do with his car probably, wada. Because Louvia vele, cool kid, and another cool, you know, it's the things. Okay, what kind of work stuff? No, it's work stuff, da. Trust me when I tell you I've got money. I'm like, listen, mates, like, the only money you have is the imaginary money in your heart. And had you come with me telling me I'm poor but I want to love you, I probably would have heard your chats. Would I have taken in your CV, reviewed it, spoken to my managers, spoken with the board, if you're meant to be part of the Naledi train? Yeah. But when his story started not making sense, now I started being that girl who was like, no, I want to come see you. No, bring your Lambo. Bring your... And then he's like, no, why? I'm like, because I'm trying to prove a point. And then one day I just couldn't stand it, and now that was like a week and a half later. I was like, listen here, you motherfucking catfish. First of all, those cars that you went on a charity drive with belong to one of my friend's dads. Two, you don't even know who LV is, but you have a whole folder of him on your computer showcasing that computer is a computer from work and you work at the car sales dealership, bitch. And three, completely the round of the story, I basically said F you. I said F you for actually using my friend's dad's cars, for using my friend, for lying and thinking that I would be swayed by the whole car thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know when it was that I started seeing that this guy's tweets versus the life he lives doesn't make sense. I'm so bored. Unama million, Mara, you bored? Tell me a millionaire that has ever said, guys, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do with my life. A millionaire. I was just like, no, guys, I'm so bored. All this load shedding. Load shedding? You're a millionaire. Like, you don't got no generators? You don't know how to fuck. So eventually I found out that guy was a catfish. I think he works at Fushe Motors. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But I basically found out that the guy was a catfish, and I was just like, anyway, guys, that is it. That is essentially what happened. That is how I almost got catfished. No, that is how I got catfished by someone who thought he could one-up me a bit there, but it didn't even work. And I really hope that if he is real and he is rich, my bad, yo, but you walked into this one and he probably is a catfish. Judging from the way things ended, I'm pretty sure he's a catfish. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is the end of the story. I really hope you guys enjoyed the story time. So glad to be back on screen with you guys. So glad to be sharing. Honestly, you guys are my friends right now. You guys are my everything. I'm so happy. Your support has been immense, and I want you guys to know so much that this channel is where it is because of you. So if it means doing a video every single day to get y'all to stay in the house, you ain't gotta ask me twice. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is the end of the video. If you guys have any more video requests you would like to ask for, definitely comment down below, and make sure to follow me on social media as well. It's Naledi Official on both Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, guys, that is the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys soon.